6:15, there's a new weight loss treatment that many are describing as a game changer.
So it's a drug with results that are similar to what some people achieve through surgery. Stephanie Whitfield connects the dots.
A new obesity drug is showing promise, helping patients lose a significant amount of weight. But experts hope it can actually fight the stigma surrounding obesity. Let's connect the dots. The FDA is expected to make a decision on the drug called Semaglutide sometime next month, according to the New York Times. In the clinical trials, patients on average reported 15% weight loss, but at least a third reported losing 20%. That's similar to what you lose with lap-band bariatric surgery. Semaglutide and other drugs like it are based on a naturally occurring hormone in the body and help decrease appetite. According to the Times, experts hope these drugs will change the way we see obesity, treating it like a chronic disease with medications you take for a lifetime. Multiple studies have shown there are strong biologic factors for obesity. For example, identical twins raised apart that end up with the same body mass index despite their different upbringings. So why would these drugs change how we view overweight people? Current weight loss drugs are not as effective and often can only be taken for a short amount of time, meaning the weight often comes back. But these medications are designed to be taken long-term, similar to how you treat other chronic conditions. The hope is, if doctors start treating it like a chronic condition, others will as well. Connecting the dots, I'm Stephanie Whitfield, KHOU 11 News.